I never thought a city could feel so alive in its silence. Driving through Michigan, I kept passing streets where houses stood empty, windows staring back like forgotten eyes. I could almost hear echoes of laughter, children playing, and factory whistles that no longer blow. It hit me, these places weren't abandoned overnight. Families, jobs, dreams slowly disappeared, leaving behind streets frozen in time. I felt a mix of sadness and curiosity as I stepped out of my car, wondering what stories these empty houses could tell. Today, I'll take you inside 5 Michigan cities where life has quietly vanished. If you love exploring abandoned and forgotten places with me, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the adventure. 1. Detroit, Michigan, USA. I arrived in Detroit, Michigan, USA early in the morning, when the streets were still quiet and the air felt heavy. As I drove deeper into the city, I started noticing rows of empty houses with broken windows and doors hanging open. It didn't look like a place people had left in a hurry. It looked like a place people slowly gave up on. When I stepped out of the car, the silence was the first thing I felt. No traffic noise. No voices. Just wind moving through empty streets. I walked past homes where curtains were still hanging, faded by the sun. It felt strange knowing that families once lived here, laughed here, and built their lives here. Now, only the buildings remained. Detroit was once the heart of America's auto industry. Millions of people depended on the factories for work. But when the factories started closing, jobs disappeared, and people had no choice but to leave. As I stood near an abandoned factory, I imagined the noise it once had, machines running, workers talking, life everywhere. Now, it was just a massive empty shell, slowly falling apart. Walking further, I saw schools that would never open again and hospitals that no longer treated anyone. Some streets were completely empty, with grass growing through cracked roads. It didn't feel dangerous. It felt sad. Like the city was still waiting for its people to come back. What stayed with me the most was how real everything felt. This wasn't a movie set or a horror story. This was a real city, still standing, but deeply wounded by its past. Detroit isn't fully abandoned. People still live here. But large parts of the city were forgotten, left behind as the world moved on. As I left, I looked back one last time. Detroit didn't feel haunted by ghosts. It felt haunted by memories. And that made it far more powerful than any scary story I had ever heard. 2. Flint, Michigan, USA. I reached Flint, Michigan, USA on a cold afternoon, and the first thing I noticed was how quiet the city felt. It wasn't the peaceful kind of quiet. It was the kind that makes you slow down and look around, as if something important is missing. As I drove through the streets, I saw house after house boarded up, some with paint peeling off like the walls were tired of standing. I parked near a small neighborhood and started walking. Broken sidewalks crunched under my shoes, and empty homes stared back at me with dark windows. It felt strange knowing that these streets were once full of children, cars, and normal daily life. Now, only a few people remained, moving slowly, almost carefully, as if they didn't want to disturb the silence. Flint's story is closely tied to factories and hard work. When the auto industry collapsed, jobs disappeared, and families began leaving. But what hurt this city the most came later. I kept thinking about the water crisis, something that changed Flint forever. Standing there, I imagined what it must have felt like to turn on a tap and not trust the water coming out. That thought stayed with me as I passed schools and public buildings that looked worn down and forgotten. As I walked deeper into the city, I noticed churches still standing, trying to hold their ground. Some shops were permanently closed, their signs faded by time. The city didn't feel abandoned all at once. It felt like it was slowly drained, year by year, until very little was left. What hit me hardest was the feeling of betrayal. This wasn't a natural disaster. This was neglect. People didn't leave Flint because they wanted to. Many left because they had no choice. Those who stayed seemed strong, but tired, as if they had been carrying the weight of the city for too long. When I finally left Flint, I didn't feel scared. I felt heavy. Flint isn't a ghost city, but it feels wounded. It's a place that still exists, still breathes, but carries scars that are impossible to ignore. And those scars tell a story no one should ever forget. 3. Highland Park, Michigan, USA. I entered Highland Park, Michigan, USA without realizing it at first. There was no clear feeling of arrival, no busy streets or signs of life telling me I was in a different city. It felt like the road simply continued, but everything around it slowly fell apart. That's when I knew something was wrong. The houses were closer together, but many of them were empty, their windows dark even in daylight. I parked near a long street where the silence felt unnatural. What stayed in my mind was the absence of streetlights. I had read about it before, but standing there made it real. At night, this city once went completely dark because it could no longer afford electricity. As I walked, I imagined how it must have felt for people to live here when the sun went down and the streets disappeared into blackness. Highland Park was once one of the richest cities in Michigan. The auto industry built this place. Ford factories brought jobs, money, and hope. But when those factories shut down, everything collapsed fast. Standing near the remains of industrial buildings, I could almost hear echoes of machines and workers that no longer existed. Now, only empty shells remained, rusted and silent. The deeper I walked, the more personal it felt. Some homes still had curtains. Others had furniture left behind, as if someone planned to return but never did. Grass grew through cracked roads, and mailboxes stood untouched. This wasn't destruction caused by war or disaster. This was slow abandonment caused by loss. What shocked me most was how small the city felt. Highland Park is surrounded by Detroit, yet it felt completely forgotten. Like it slipped through the cracks while the rest of the world moved on. The few people I saw looked tired but determined, as if leaving wasn't an option for them. As I stood there, I felt a strange mix of sadness and respect. Sadness for what this city lost, and respect for those who stayed when everything else disappeared. Highland Park isn't empty, but it feels abandoned in spirit. When I left, the quiet followed me. Some places don't scare you. They make you think. And Highland Park stayed with me long after I was gone. For Pontiac, Michigan, USA. I drove into Pontiac, Michigan, USA just as the sun began to dip behind the horizon, casting long shadows over the empty streets. The first thing I noticed was the silence. It wasn't peaceful, it was heavy. Buildings that were once bustling with life now stood quietly, their windows dark and their doors locked or boarded up. It felt as if the city had exhaled a long time ago and forgotten to breathe again. I walked down a main street where shops were abandoned, their signs faded by the sun and wind. The streets smelled faintly of rust and dust. I imagined the sound of traffic and chatter that must have once filled this area, and the contrast was jarring. Pontiac had been a thriving city once, full of factories and people, but now it felt like it existed only in memory. The closer I got to the industrial areas, the heavier the feeling became. GM had built factories here that employed thousands, giving families a steady life. When the plants closed, it wasn't just jobs that vanished, the spirit of the city did too. I paused near a massive building, now silent, imagining the machines that used to roar inside and the workers who hurried through its corridors. Now, the only movement was the occasional flutter of a loose sheet of metal in the wind. Walking further, I passed neighborhoods where houses were abandoned, but some still had traces of life, old toys in yards, letters stuck in mailboxes, curtains swaying slightly in broken windows. It struck me how people left gradually, not overnight, leaving their memories behind to linger in the empty streets. The city wasn't fully empty, but the emptiness was everywhere, threaded through every block and alley. What stayed with me the most was the human side of Pontiac's story. This wasn't a ghost story, it was real life. People had loved this city, built their families here, and slowly, the world moved on without them. As I left, I looked back at the skyline fading into the twilight, feeling a mix of sadness and respect. Pontiac isn't just abandoned, it's a reminder of resilience, loss, and the stories cities hold in the quiet corners where life once thrived. 5 Saginaw, Michigan, USA. I arrived in Saginaw, Michigan, USA on a quiet morning, the kind where the fog still hung low over empty streets, and the chill in the air made every sound sharper. At first, I thought it was just early hours, but as I drove deeper into the city, the emptiness became obvious. Entire blocks of houses stood silently, some with doors slightly open, curtains faded and dusty. The city felt paused, like someone had pressed stop on life and walked away. I parked near an old residential street and stepped out. The crunch of broken glass and gravel under my shoes echoed in the silence. I could almost picture the families who once lived here, the children playing on the sidewalks, neighbors greeting each other, laughter spilling from kitchens. Now, all I could hear was the wind moving through the empty trees and the occasional distant hum of a car somewhere far away. Saginaw was once a city alive with industry and opportunity. Manufacturing plants filled the streets with workers and families, bringing life to every corner. But when the factories closed one by one, people had no choice but to leave. Walking past abandoned schools and boarded-up shops, I realized the city didn't die all at once. It was a slow, painful exodus, leaving behind shadows of what once was. Some homes still had furniture inside, as if people expected to return. I stopped in front of a small house, peeking through the window at a dusty table and chairs. I imagined the family that must have lived there, now gone, their routines paused forever. There was a strange feeling in the air, not fear, but sadness. A city isn't haunted by ghosts, but by the absence of the life it once had. As I walked back to my car, I looked around at the cracked roads, the empty playgrounds, and the faded storefronts. Saginaw is not entirely abandoned, people still live here, struggling to hold on. But the city carries scars that are impossible to ignore. Driving away, I felt a weight in my chest. Saginaw isn't just a city, it's a living story of what happens when a place that was once full of dreams slowly loses them. And somehow, standing there, you can feel every single one of those lost hopes lingering in the quiet streets.